Everybody, Gerone Wright here, and you're joining me on my Gerone Wright channel. Okay, in this video, I'm going to be discussing buildings, Gothic style buildings, Roman style buildings, Greek style buildings, and affiliation with big business Mongols and tycoons. In this case, we're looking at the Woolworth building there in New York City. All right, I'm going to be making some interesting developments about this, and sharing some interesting things with you. I started off with these buildings from my own neighborhood. I'm paranormally drawn to them. And around our world globally, we have these buildings that are Roman style, Gothic style, and they're all associated with something ancient that does not have nothing to do with America, but yet further off into other countries. And the building designs behind these buildings are linked to ancient and hidden knowledge dealing with masons, master wood craftsmen, master glass blowers. It just goes on and on and on, dealing with the pediments in the eaves of these buildings. It just keeps going on and on and on. It's just another never-ending story. I only have 15 minutes here, and I want to go on. This is the Woolworth building. This is the top of the Woolworth building. Look at this. It's like a castle that's put on top of. This is something that you'll see in medieval times. It's like a French Gothic style building. Look at this. People, you know the undertaking that it takes to put something like this up here. People, you have to start asking yourself, why do people go through all of this trouble and invest so much money, time, and energy and design in such an undertaking of architectural work? Look at this. And then place it in a downtown metropolitan area where there are hundreds of thousands and millions of visitors that go to these areas. I'm telling you, people, that these buildings are soul-sending devices that captures your soul, not only in the sense of living, but in the afterlife. And these people that rise to a level of success, that are able to do this, have the knowledge, the hidden knowledge. Look at this. I want you to Google the Woolworth building and then click on images and look at some of these things about this image. All right, now, who is Woolworth? Now, you can tell that I'm on point. I'm going to start sharing some things with you. Frank Winfield Woolworth he built several mansions over in New York, one for each of his daughters that looks similar to this. One is on the market, I believe, now for $90-something million. All right. To give you an idea of what's going on, it's rumored that this guy, Frank Winfield Woolworth, is actually linked to a cult belief. It's said that he was having cult gatherings at his mansions, and in fact, during the night of one of these cult rituals that was going on, there was a thunderstorm, and a bolt of lightning hit one of these chimney mantles, and the lightning bolt split the chimney mantle and went down to a family portrait that was on a bronze inscription, and it split the bronze image of his wife. It was Frank Winfield Woolworth, his three daughters, and his wife on there, and it split the mantle. Okay, and split one of the daughters off, and then the next morning the daughter was found dead by her 5-year-old daughter, while it was reported that Frank Winfield was actually hosting this party, this so-called party. Amazing, isn't it? His wife. Another thing is a problem with this is that I was doing, what led me to this story is a story that I was doing in my town of Charles K. Landis, and it's amazing because all of these people that's involved in this cult-like stuff, in these organizations, something happens with their wives and with their children. In this case, Frank K. Landis, his wife was reportedly had dementia, and now Wentworth's wife had dementia. So I mean, this all becomes a very interesting. It turns into and spirals into very interesting stories. It just doesn't stop with just a business tycoon. All right, I got to keep going because I only have 15 minutes. Now, to verify everything that I'm actually stating, All right, this man being in the cult, being involved in cult, and dealing with the cult, and bringing his cult message to downtown New York. Basically, all you have to do is go to the tomb of this man. Look at this man's tomb. There is nothing on here. This is the Woolworth's tomb. There is nothing on here about a religious value, meaning in so much of that of what you would think a man of his stature would be. Crosses, images of Christ, images of angels. No. You know what this man has on his tomb? Hold on, let me see. This man has the Egyptian lion, like a sphinx, Nubian. These are Nubian faces on either side on the lion's face. These are Egyptian lions. At the gate, again, Egyptian figures on the gate, on the bronze gate. Look at this, not the Egyptian ox. I forgot what you call that. The horn. I forgot what you call that. His name is up there. Then there's the Egyptian, the sun disk with the wings, meaning life after death. Okay. And then even on the top is the same exact thing. You have the sun disk, the serpents, and then you have the wings. An implication of life after death. It's my position that these mausoleums, which appeared in your downtown areas, in your cemeteries, and all over globally, are dimensional doorways that where spirits can go through and come back, and their soul captured and reclaiming devices. And people, if you think about it, this makes more sense than anything that is out there today. Think about it. There's always this discussion about life after death, and these people getting their status and thinking that they're gods and they can do this, that, the third. And they're talking about these dimensional doorways, these stairways to heaven, and they're right in front of your face. And you're downtown. You see bankers dealing with these. Your buildings have buildings like this. Just imagine. Look at the undertaking that goes into this as far as construction. Now, I just showed you the Woolworth building downtown. Now, guess what else done went down there? They done built this building. Here's the Woolworth building here. This building now towers over, just been built. This was built by Frank Genry, okay? Frank Genry, he's a Canadian architect. So, we know what this stands for. Now, this is how this leads you from one thing to the next. I went after one cult tycoon, and then jumped into another. There's no ending to this. So basically, all you have to do is Google Frank Genry. His building styles, this building is of like a melting architecture. Meaning that I understand this artwork, or this building's design, because you know what, as soon as I seen it, you know the first thing that comes to mind? Surrealist artist Salvador Dali. That's the first thing that came to mind when I see. If you go to Frank Genry's architectural landscapes, he does landscapes of melting buildings. That's what his artwork is about. So when I seen it, the first thing that comes to mind is Salvador Dali, and then Pablo Picasso. That's what I think about when I look at these building structures that this man is building. Go to that. I'm not going to go into it now, and I'll do a video about that later on. Okay? But, oh, by the way, guess what's in the bottom of this building? Wherever you see these cult-like buildings and these messages, these undertakings, there's always an implication of death and resurrection, and with children. In this building, down below, there's 100,000 square foot dedicated to a school below this building, in this building. And guess what else is there? Believe me when I'm telling you now, people. Now check this out. Not only do you have a school in the bottom of this building, there's also a 25,000 square foot dedication of space to, guess what? A hospital. Now, the hospital is associated with sickness and with death and with saving lives and struggle. Imagine that. Some type of trauma center going on down in this building. You got children over in another part of this building. You got souls dying. These spirits being released in this building. And then now check this out, people. Now check this out, the cocktail that they got going on here. You have 903 luxury condos that are in this portion. Imagine that. Imagine this. I mean, imagine this. You know, I'm going to take you here for 1 minute before my time runs out. Imagine this as, let's just say, a penis. All right. Now, don't laugh, people, because this is a symbolization of what it used to be back in the ancient day. All symbols like this, these statues were of stone penises with the testicles off on either side. And then there was an injection showing you that life. Everybody's pointing up. You know what I mean? Showing you what's going out. Now check this out. Let's look at this as a penis. And a cocktail. There's a cocktail brew going on here. You got a school on one side with a bunch of innocent children on one side. Then on the other side in the basement here, you have the hospital. You have life and death. There's a cocktail going on. Now, in each testicle, there's a school on one side of the testicle. On the other side of the testicle, there's the hospital. Here's the penis, and in the penis you have a bunch of sperm cell, and you know what they? I mean, well, actually, a mixture, a cocktail of these sperm cells, and you know what they are? There are 903 condos with a mixture, a variation of peoples, and now through all of this chemistry, through death and resurrection, there's this cocktail going on, and where these soul sending mechanism, these doorways, where these spiritual entities come into this building, they have their pick of the prick, should I say, to go in here and pick out anything that they want. Everything, a cocktail of everything. People of different ethnic backgrounds, children down at the bottom, and then a hospital. So you have an invitation, a doorway, through death and resurrection. All of this in this building. And then the building design and stuff. You got to look at that building. Now, I'm running out of time. I only have a few minutes, so I'm going to go back to something else. Now, Woolworth built his success on 5 and dime stores. Woolworth is similar to what Walmart is today. An affordable shopping place where you can go in, consumers can go in and buy things at a discounted rate. This is how Woolworth built his success, on 5 and dime success. Now, Woolworth has went out in the 90s, gone. But Woolworth is not dead. Guess where Woolworth is at now? Woolworth is on your feet. That's right. Woolworth is now a spinoff of Footlocker. So, whatever this man stood for, you are whoever has not went into Footlocker and brought a pair of shoes for you, your children, or whatever. Whatever this man stands for is on your feet, is in your home. There's still his products in your home today from Woolworth that you don't purchase. Your grandmom has them. Your mom has them. You may have some of them. This message, these underlining cult messages, people, you have to look at it, and there's no end to this stuff. Because when you go in to look at one thing, another thing pops up. Everything that the downtown Woolworth building stands for is now replaced by this Frank Gendry undertaking of this architectural design of this building. And I'm not the best narrator for this, but you get my message. I mean, you're putting these things on your body, these clothing, bringing these things into your house. What better way than for these people that are engaged in these cult-like rituals, these cauldron-like breweries of these genetics and these genes, to get into your mind and your body than to go through you through products. They rise to a level of success. You know why? Because they're bringing the mark of the devil to you. My name is Gerone Wright. I'm going to end that there. This is my first video back this week. If it sucks, then it sucks.